Yummy, man.
Scrundily yum yum a purr. Ooh, could you ate that?
Keep watching to see how I got this look.
I'm sad and unhappy.
Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah. If it's your first time here, hi, it's nice to meet you. I'm glad you clicked on this video. I hope that you watch until the end. I also hope that you enjoy. And make sure that you hit the notification bell so that way you never miss a video. And also make sure you like and leave a sweet comment underneath the video. I'm just showing what the look is going to be today. Before I get into what I want to talk about, if you've obviously seen the title, I decided a new technique to do would be better if I draw out my makeup looks and then try and execute it. So anything I think of, like if I have a weird dream and I see a pattern in there, I want to try and draw it out on my face now. The products will be listed in the description. So here we go. I wanted to do a different thing. I wanted to try talking about a movie I've seen, Possession. I already talked about it in my last video, like briefly, but I really wanted to get more in depth. So, welcome to the first episode of Horror with a Whore. I don't know, I can't think of a name, but it's a working title. But this is the title right now. Horror with a Whore, okay? You know, it's fun. That's what it's going to be. This is the first episode of it. So, the film I want to talk about today is obviously Possession. So, the film begins in West Berlin. In the beginning of the film, we see shots of the Berlin Wall. And at this time, East and West Germany were at odds. In the beginning of the film, we meet Mark, who has just come back from a business trip. He greets his wife, who is clearly stressed and not happy to see him. She says she didn't realize he would be coming back so soon and doesn't help him with his bags, which I feel like is kind of trifling. They have a son named Bob. Why would you name your son Bob? I don't understand. I really think that's weird. Okay, anyways, Anna wants a divorce, but she can't seem to make up a reason for why.
You don't know. That's what you said on the phone. When will you know?
I don't know.
Do you want me to spend the night somewhere else?
Thing?
Anna says she doesn't know why she wants a divorce, but she just does. Mark doesn't really accept this, and while they're laying in bed, Mark asks if there's somebody else because there's always someone else when these things happen.
Were you unfaithful to me?
The truth is not really. Were you?
No.
There's always someone else when these things happen.
Not in this case.
It's just natural. Feelings change. But without you, I wouldn't feel anything at all.
Later on, Anna leaves. While she's gone, Mark goes through her stuff to find a postcard that says, "I've seen half of God's face, the other half is you." He immediately calls Anna's friend Margie. Margie confirms that she is seeing someone.
Hello?
Margie, this is Mark. Now, I know there's no sympathy between us, and it's hard for me to ask you for help, but you're her only friend. Now, just tell me the truth. She has somebody?
She wished you'd say or do something. You arrived sooner than expected, Mark.
Yeah, sure, this is all my fault. Now, how long has this been going on?
Quite long.
Who is he?
Oh, Mark.
But make her talk to me. It'll be the way that she wants. But this is not proper.
He then calls Anna, and Anna admits to having an affair and there being another person. And Anna finally admits to being in love with a man named Hinrich, even admitting that sex is better with him.
Yes?
We're over, Mark.
You have someone.
Yes.
For a long time?
Does it matter?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you sleep with him?
Yes.
Do you like it?
Yes.
More than with me?
They agree to meet up at a coffee shop where they sit in opposite areas of each other, like they're meeting up in secret.
I've decided not to see Bob
At all?
at all.
How can you say that?
He's gonna be fucked up enough as it is, and I don't want to fuck him up even more by playing Sunday daddy.
What were you to him anyway?
Precisely. You say it's better with him than with me.
I get more out of it.
If I could only believe that it happened cleanly at first sight.
Okay. If it makes things easier. I was in his bed the first night I met him, if you have to know.
What do you expect of me? Look what you're doing!
It quickly turns confrontational when Anna remarks that she wished she never had Bob with him.
No one is good or bad, but if you want, I'm that one. And if I knew he existed in this world, I would have never had Bob with you.
Afterwards, Mark becomes depressed and rents a hotel room where he drinks himself to infancy for 3 weeks.
Hallo? Hallo? Hallo?
He returns home to find Bob neglected and the house a mess. So just think about that. For 3 weeks while he was drinking himself to sleep in a hotel room, their son Bob was not being cared for. Anna wasn't there.
Mummy said she would be right back, but she never came. Then Margie called and told me to be brave. Because she had broke her leg and she had to have the cast put on.
You've been alone for a long time.
A reoccurring theme in this movie is that they don't give a fuck about Bob. Like, they would rather run off and go have affairs or wallow in their self-pity than go and take care of their son. The only time they mention Bob is when they're in an argument and they need to use him against each other. When Anna returns home, Mark gives her an ultimatum, telling her that she has to break up with Hinrich.
This is not always like this, Mark. Usually I'm on time.
I'm not interested. I came to tell you that I can't live without you, and I'm ready to understand whatever there is, but it doesn't look like it makes much sense. Anna, is there anything I can do?
If you could just...
Yes.
I must.
Yes?
I must.
You must restore order. You must leave him. You will call him. You will say it is over. Now, I don't care if you tell him you love him, but he's not your family. Your family is here. If you want to stay, make that call.
Mark seems to wear her down with questions about where she's been and about Hinrich, and so they eventually sleep together, and while he's asleep, she goes off in the middle of the night. She leaves. He doesn't know where she's gone. She just leaves in the middle of the night.
I am very sleepy.
Later that night, Mark gets a phone call, and in the phone call, a man says, "Anna is with me now." And if you listen closely to the phone call, it sounds just like Mark, which is a little weird.
Anna is with me, and she'll stay with me.
Mark calls Anna's friend Margie to get Hinrich's number, and there we find out that Hinrich lives with his mother because she answers the phone and says that she hasn't seen Anna in weeks and she can't wait to see her, which means that Anna isn't going to see Hinrich. She's sneaking out to see someone else. but we don't know who that other person is yet.
Bro, shoddy trifling. She must be from Dirty Dogs.
Mark looks up Hinrich's phone in the phone book and gets his address. Can we just talk about how weird that is, that you can look up somebody's address in a phone book as long as you have their number? Like, that's dangerous. I'm kind of glad that we don't have phone books anymore. Like, that's just weird.
I want to speak to Hinrich.
My son is not in town. Who's calling?
Anna's husband.
Anna's not here. I haven't seen her for weeks. I miss her so much.
With Anna not being home, Mark eventually starts taking Bob to school every day, and this is where we meet Anna's doppelganger, who is Bob's teacher.
Well, I'm Bob's father. I'll be bringing him to school from now on.
I'm glad. You're the father who went far away and met the polar bears.
What is this, a joke?
What are you talking about?
I'm in your way.
What?
I'm so sorry, it's impossible. Have you ever seen my wife?
Naturally, every day of the school year.
Later on, Mark goes to Hinrich's apartment. When he arrives to look for Anna, she isn't there. When we first meet Hinrich, he seems like a very fake spiritual guru who feels like he's the second coming of Christ and he's all-knowing. I think that he uses his spirituality to manipulate women into sleeping with him.
You're Hinrich?
Yes.
I've come for Anna.
Anna's not here.
You want me to break down the bloody door?
You don't have to. It's open.
When Mark confronts Hinrich about the phone call he got last night, Hinrich seems to know nothing of this and says that he just got home today. And says that he just wants to be friends with Mark and understands how strange their predicament is, which is weird. Like, you're sleeping with his wife, like, and you knew she was married, you know she has a son. It's so messed up on so many levels.
Our situation is like a mountain lake we are trying to swim in, starting from different shores. I'm not astonished you're here. I was thinking about you just before you came, so now that you're here, let's be open to each other. You can hate me as much as you like, but it's you who wants to know things for me.
Mark strangely asks Hinrich this question.
My mother.
Here all the time.
Yes.
Even when you're fucking Anna.
Of course.
Ew, weird. Why are you asking him that? Yeah. And basically he gets his ass beat. Yeah, Hinrich whoops his ass. I don't know if he does capoeira or whatever, but he kicked his ass. It was so embarrassing. I was like, damn. Kind of feel bad for you. Keep in mind, this film is being told from Mark's perspective, so we don't know Anna's side of the story. But I really would have liked to see the story being told from Bob's perspective, because he's probably dealing with so much at the moment with his two parents divorcing and just fighting it all the time. So when Mark goes home, he sees Anna there with Bob, and they're in the kitchen making sandwiches, and he confronts Anna about her whereabouts, asking her where she's been, saying, you're lying, you weren't there. Like, he's being so possessive of her, like, constantly needing to know where she is at all times.
Where were you?
I wrote you I was at Margie's.
That's not true. I spoke to her.
I was with him.
It's not true either. I saw him. I may escape from him, but he's not lying.
I was with friends.
Who?
New friends!
I'll check.
Yes, check.
Why did you leave last night?
To be alone!
But you said you went to France.
Why are you nagging me? Can't you just let me in peace?
I should have perfect peace if you never came back. Don't try to tell me that you care about him all that much. He didn't stop you from breaking us up. If you really thought about him, you'd give a thought to us, for Christ's sake.
I do!
No, you don't. You think about buying him a pair of shoes, about making him a snack, about telling him a bedtime story. But if you really thought about him, you'd think about us.
Right. You're always right. But it's difficult, don't you understand? It is difficult. I didn't want it to happen, but
I can see a little bit of why. Actually, no, I can see a huge bunch of why she wants to get a divorce. Like, look at the way you're acting. And we don't ever get to see how their marriage was before he left, or if they ever had like a really good marriage. We don't see that side. We're only seeing after the fact, because he decides he wants to quit his job so he can be with his family and maybe try to fix his marriage, which is way too late. Every time they fight, they use Bob to get back at each other, and it's just disgusting. Like, the main concern should be for Bob, but they really don't care. They just use him whenever they need to. Mark beats up Anna. Like, he slaps her, smacks her around till she's bloody, like bleeding out of her mouth, which is insane.
Please don't make me force you.
You can't stop me! I opened the window and jumped!
You need him that much.
Oh, yes! Oh, yes!
Back your legs! Do it again. You know what this is for? Lies.
Then you have to add much more.
It's the one and only.
And she finally gets away. Like, she's clearly, you can see in her face that she's had enough, and no matter what he does, their relationship is never going to be rectified. Like, she does not want to be with him anymore, and she's made that more than clear. After she leaves, like, it's the face, when she turns and looks at the camera and there's blood dripping down her face, it's like she's already checked out of that relationship. Like,
What's gonna happen to us?
He's after you!
Stop coming!
I have to go!
I'll follow you!
Don't even try!
Mark calls Margie to come look after Bob while he goes out to a private investigator, and he hires a private investigator to watch Anna, which is literally insane. Like, she's, after that fight, like, he should have already been like, okay, it's over. Like, she clearly does not want to be with you. Why would you hire a private investigator to stalk her?
Oh, it's Aunt Margie, the angel of the extinct heart, limping to the rescue. Nothing can stop me. Oh, I know you can't wait to run off and make a fool of yourself. And I'm here to help you. I'll look after Bob. Give me your sweater.
I loathe you, Marge.
I love seeing you miserable. It's so reassuring.
Shit, Marge. I would like you to follow my wife for a few days.
Of course. Wives.
After Margie is in the house and she's looking after Bob, we see Mark look out the window and he's being watched by two agents. Mark look out the window and he's being watched by two agents who are CIA agents. And in case you didn't pick it up already, that is Mark's job. He is a CIA agent. and he was quitting his job in the CIA so that he could stay at home and try to fix his marriage and spend more time with Bob. And they don't want him to leave. You know, the CIA doesn't want him to quit his job. They want him to stay. And they ask him if he's still wearing pink socks. Okay, remember I said that. Anna returns the next day, and she's bombarded with questions from Mark, asking her where she's been, who she's been with. The more he's questioning her, like, you can clearly see it stressing her out and just building and building up more and more. Like, she clearly wants to be left alone.
Excuse me.
How long is this going to last?
Excuse me!
Talking to you?
Excuse me!
You don't have the right to behave this way. What have I done that you hate me so much? Huh? I
Get
deserve
off
this?
it. No! Get off it!
Told you to
Get
stop
off!
coming
Get
around.
off! Get off!
This is disgusting.
Yes.
The stress of his questioning of her and her relationship just builds up until she takes the meat cutter and tries to slice her neck and kill herself.
Are you afraid I'll get mad again and beat you? Anna, help me. Help me.
Mark stops her in time and bandages up her neck, and afterwards he, it feels like he's finally accepting of it. He's like, okay, it can be the way you want, if you don't want to be with me anymore, it's fine, like, this is too much. Girl is like slicing her neck to get away from you. She does not want to be with you. Stop pushing for that relationship. Anna's in the next room. She's changing to leave. We see Mark sitting down at the table, and he starts making different cuts all around his wrist, with the meat cutter. I feel like he was doing that to see if he still felt something, because he said earlier that he feels numb without her. So I feel like he was just cutting himself to see if he could still feel anything.
I have to go now.
Did you wait for Bob?
I can't now.
Maybe we can both go and pick him up at school.
I can't. It doesn't hurt.
No.
When Anna leaves, we see that she's being followed by the private investigator. When this happens, we get this scene. The private investigator manages to use an excuse to get in the house. He's like, oh, I work in the building and I need to check your windows. I need to check your windows because there's broken glass falling and we don't know where it's coming from.
Bother you, miss. I'm from the building manager's office. We had a complaint about some broken windows somewhere and the glass falling down from the sidewalk. I'm afraid I have to check your windows.
But I can assure you they're all right.
How can you be so sure? I just saw you come in. It'll only take a moment.
But I don't want you to be here.
I quite understand, miss, but it's me or the police. What can I do about it?
Nothing.
Anna reluctantly let the private investigator in, and it seems like she's hiding something in her apartment. Like she really does not want him to come in there, which we don't know why. He's looking around in her apartment, and then we get this really odd scene.
Have a glass of wine.
Why?
Yes.
I'm afraid I...
Yes, why?
I'm afraid you...
Oh, come on. Don't be so...
Miss, it doesn't make any sense. I've got kids. I only came for the windows. I'm sorry, miss. But I still have to look.
Broke.
As he's checking all the rooms, for the first time we meet the monster. Just as the private investigator sees the monster, then Anna immediately starts attacking him and hitting him over the head from behind and killing him. And in Anna's face, there's this hesitation, like she doesn't want to kill him, almost like she's being possessed and forced to do it. The scene cuts to Mark at home with Bob, and he's giving Bob a bath. Then Bob's teacher knocks on the door, to check on Bob to see how he's doing. And then, a minute later, not even, Hinrich knocks on the door, asking where Anna is.
In other words, where is she? I've been giving a great deal of thought to the illogical aspects of your rendering of the events. Is Anna with you?
And if?
I'll only ask to have a talk with her.
What if I said no?
I'm sorry I used violence with you. Now I'd only employ my psychic forces to make her come to me.
Oh, I'm so sorry. She's not here.
Really, you think you're going to use your fake psychic powers to make him tell you where Anna is. But you know what? I think it worked, because then Mark gives Hinrich the address of where Anna lives. Hinrich then shares that he has a wife and little girl that he abandoned. He abandoned his family and is trying to be with Anna, which just makes it even worse. And all the suspicions I had about him from the beginning of the movie were true. Like, he's a shitty person, obviously. Not only are you sleeping with a married woman who has a child.
Did I tell you I had a wife and a daughter?
No.
They live in Cincinnati.
What does that do for you?
They will always remain my first family. Anna will be the second, and you, and Bob in some sense. Do you have a dog?
We get to see more of Bob's teacher, and she seems to be the opposite of Anna. Like, she doesn't seem to get, hot-headed so quickly, and she seems to be in control of her emotions.
That's just what I asked myself. I asked myself, what? What do you think you answer?
I don't like Mummy to like him more than us.
Who's prettier, Mummy or him?
Who do you think is prettier?
You tell me.
Oh, Mummy.
As she does all the dishes and cleans the house and takes care of Bob without being asked to. She's even seen tucking him in and reading him a bedtime story. When he asks Mark who he likes more, obviously he's going to say, your mommy, whatever. The teacher then informs Mark that Bob has been having night terrors during nap time. Like, he screams and cries in his sleep, and when she asks why he does this, he acts like he doesn't know what she's talking about.
Bob very often falls asleep. When he does, he cries or shouts. Does he do it at home?
No.
He screams. It's very difficult to calm him down. When he wakes up, he pretends that nothing happened.
What can I say? I'm at war against women. They have no foresight. There's nothing about them that is stable. There's nothing to trust.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
They're dangerous.
There is nothing in common among women except menstruation. Excuse me. I come from a place where see it in the flesh. It becomes people, so you know exactly the danger of being deformed by it. Which doesn't mean I admire your world, but I find pathetic these stories of women contaminating the universe.
I'm one of the contaminated.
I am the victim. Don't you understand here? Look at me. Look at me being victimized.
He does this every day in school and the parents have no idea. Just shows how neglectful they are. Bob's teacher seems to be a better fit for Mark because she's very understanding and she seems to want to get to know his point of view and why he views women as such. In the next scene, we see Mark and Bob's teacher laying naked in bed together while Bob is in the other room sleeping.
Alright. Together we can listen if Bob cries out.
What happened? It's all right. It's all right. It's all right.
PI comes by to inform Mark that their private investigator that they sent out to watch Anna, his wife, has been missing.
Morning. I phoned you at home, then I thought I might catch you here.
I didn't tell you where Bob goes to school.
Wasn't difficult. We have a minor problem here.
Yes?
The detective who was in charge of tracing your wife didn't come home last night.
So?
I had the impression that you were tremendously interested in finding your wife.
Yes, I was. I suppose I still am. But that was out of pure blind ambition. And you know something? I don't feel like there's anything much ambitious left in me.
Might be able to understand that my interest in the case comes from the fact that I live with that detective.
Anna is cleaning the floors in her new apartment when a private investigator comes to question her about the whereabouts of his partner.
Have you ever seen this man?
Do I have to answer you?
Well, you'll have to answer to someone eventually.
That's too easy. But it's you. The police, right?
Right.
Why?
You're scaring me.
Am I not scared? He's in there.
Let me know if you guys want a part 2 and I'll finish the rest of the movie. But for now, this is the end of it and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any comments, questions, or concerns down below. If you like this video, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more notifications on my videos. And I will see you in the next one. This is like supposed to be half a heart, by the way.